Today we're going to create a video from start to finish in DaVinci Resolve. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to bring in your media. You can right click inside the media pool and import your media from there. In this case, we're just going to use our video that we have. Once it's on the timeline or in the media pool, you're going to decide on what it is that you're going to want to do with this video. Once you decide on what it is that you're going to be doing with your video, you're going to want to go to the File menu, right click it, and go to Project Settings. With Project Settings, you are going to decide what you're going to do. You're going to create a 4K or a HD. In this case, we are doing a 4K, which is 3840 by 2160. If you want to do a vertical one for like YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Reels, whatever, you would click this to do vertical resolution. That will swap the processing of vertical and horizontal. We're going to just do long form, so we're going to go with this. From there, we're going to go down and we're going to select proxy media format at H264. This is just for rendering, and we don't need to have anything in high quality while we are editing. And from there, we're going to go over to the Fairlight section. And once in the Fairlight section, we're going to create our target loudness level to -14. Just click on these to bring it to where you want. And then from that point, we're just going to say save. The reason we're using a -14 is what YouTube is usually requiring or recommending for their videos, as well as other platforms. Once we have our video in the media pool, we can then drag it down to the timeline. You have an option here. You can leave a gap in the beginning in case you want to put an intro or you want to add something to the beginning. You can. In our case, we're just going to slide it all the way to the very beginning. So we have our video that is in there now, which is this, something that was created in Fusion. So you can cut this up. You can find out where it is, get close to it, and then you can dial it in with the arrow key. Left arrow will reverse it. Right arrow will advance it. Where you see a video shift is where you're going to cut it at. So in order to cut it, you want to go to the film or the section that you want to cut. In our case, we want to cut this. So we're going to then go to our blade tool and highlight that. Once that is highlighted, we're going to go over to our timeline and click on that. Click our selection mode tool by clicking that. Now we're able to separate the videos. So if you look at the beginning of this video, you will see that it now comes up at the very beginning of the clip where we cut. And if you go to this section, you will see that you are at the very end of the video that we cut. If we had to cut the video here, this would have been the beginning of our second clip. For our clip here, I have decided that I want to add a little bit of an intro to this, so I'm going to highlight and move these clips so that I have a gap at the beginning here. Left click anywhere and highlight to videos, and then just move them over to where you want them, because we can move them anywhere once we are done. Now we are going to basically go in and we're going to add an introductory clip or effect. In this case, we're just going to use an effect. So we're going to go up to the Effects tab, go down to the Generators, and we're going to look for a pre-made generated clip to use. In this case, we're going to use Stage Curtains, and we're going to then drag that down to our timeline and make that as video number 2. The Stage Curtains open and close as fast as the clip is long. The longer the clip is, the slower the curtains open. The shorter the clip, the faster the clips open. So we're going to go here and we're going to look for the last where the curtains are open, and right about there is where the curtains do open. In that case, we're going to drag our video over to where the curtains are fully opened, so that now that when we play this, it's just going to come in and then the video will pop up. We just don't want it to pop automatically so fast, so we're going to actually have it fade in. This white dot here is our fade for this video. We're going to make it like 20, and then we can also do the exact same thing for the audio. The audio is the green section, the video is the blue section. So we're going to have both of these set to about a fade in of 20. So now that when you play the video and you go from the beginning, you play the video, you can see that it now just fades in at that point. The fade in can be as long as you want or as short as you want. When you are tweaking and playing around with your videos, you're going to see things that you do not like. And one of the things I don't like is where you see this curtain open, it just opens to a black background. You can change that black background to anything you want, because when we made the stage curtains, it is actually an alpha background. So anything that you place on line video 1 will be transparent behind the curtain. So anything that is black here will become a transparent background. So for example, if you take and move your video over, you can see that the video is now playing behind the curtain as it is opening. But it is opening too slowly because most of the video is played or has happened by the time it does open. So we're going to actually have some black background on the curtain when it does open, and then the video will fade in and you will see the complete video. So this is what you have so far. That's better than just having a black background. You can adjust this to however you want. You can put a different color in here so that it is not just black in the background, or you can make a still picture, or you can just have the whole thing and stretch it out. That is going to be a choice up to you. This is just to show you what you can do with it. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to bring the two clips back together again. So we're going to highlight this area, left click it, and then we're going to right click and do a ripple delete. That will pull the two clips together so that now when you play the clips, it will just be simultaneously one single clip. As you have noticed, there is no sound to this because I have the sound turned off on this while we are doing this. So we will drop the sound back onto this. And once we play it with the sound, you will see that the sound is a little high, but it is good. On YouTube and many other platforms, they want to have a minimum of about 14 dBs as far as the sound goes. If the sound is too little, you can always right click in here and at that point normalize audio levels. You can bring it to a YouTube normalization mode, which is a -14 Lutz, and just normalize that. And once you do, it's going to bring everything up to approximately 14, which is where you should be at. And that does it for that clip only. We have a video later. You can look down in the description and see our video on normalization of audio, and that will show you how to do that. As you may have noticed, my timeline stamp is all zeros. I don't like when it has a 1 up here signifying basically a 1 hour or 10-hour video. What I would do is go up to DaVinci Resolve, click under Preferences, and once the preferences are up, we're going to go over to the user. And in the user, we are going to take the timestamp and make the timestamp all zeros. So that is editing, user, and change the timestamp to all zeros. And at that point, you're going to hit save. That will change this timeline code to all zeros, and wherever the playhead is the actual time. The actual time of the playhead, the location of the playhead should match the playhead time stamp up here, and you can change your playhead anytime you want by typing in whatever you want, and your time stamp will move the playhead to that location that you put in. So now it's 4 all the way around. That's basically just a little tip, because there are times you are going to want to be exact with your playhead placement, especially in the fusion section, or when you are trying to add things to your timeline, but you need to be more precise with it. You can actually just enter it by typing in the location of the time head up in the upper time head location. Since this is just a simple single step render for a timeline to make it into a video. What we're going to do is we're just going to actually export this now as it is into a video. If you don't like your video, you can go back and tweak it, play with it, do whatever you want. But for now, we are just going to make this into a video that we can export. We are going to want to go down to our export button, and once we are there, we can click on that and go up here and give this a title. We're just going to name it test, and we're just going to give it a location. In this case, we're just going to give it a location of where we want it. Change the format to the one that you desire. Most all platforms that you will deliver to, YouTube, Reels, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, will use MP4. Our codec is 264, and our audio we will just leave alone because in our clip we set it up to be a -14. Our timeline resolution will be our 3840 by 2160, which is a 4K. So that will not be able to be changed because our frame rate has been set in the beginning. After you get this set up, you just add this to your render queue. Just click on it, and now you'll see it pop up over here. Once you see that, you can then go over to render all. Once you're on render all, then just render the whole timeline, and once it's finished, you can export it to any video that you want or any platform that you want. Or if you just make it as a intro, you can then take that video and put it back into your timeline as a media pool and use that as your intro. You can have multiple videos in your clips as a movie. Hope this helps, and if you want, please take a look at the rest of our page. We have how to normalize your audio and how to combine clips to make a compound clip. There's ways to render easier so you don't have the lag or the work on the CPU. There's a lot of little tips and tricks within DaVinci that you can use. This was just a simple how-to video. Get your clip on here, adjust it a little bit, and export it, and then be able to download it to your platform that you desire. If you like, please subscribe, and we will show you a little bit more in depth on a multiple video timeline.